For pain. It's a beautiful day. It is indeed a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. God is good. Thank you for joining Leadership Unscripted. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. If you got life, then give God praise. You may not have much, but you're living day by day. Jay Salmon, Shorty, and Marie, thank you for Purpose. Chrissy, thank you for joining. You are tuning into Leadership Unscripted. Tonight's topic can be very uncomfortable for some people. But guess what? On Leadership Unscripted, no topic is off limit. Once it has to do with leadership, there is no topic that is off limit. So tonight, we're going to be talking about insecure leadership. They've gotten the job. So what are they worried about? Why are they insecure? And how it is affecting and impacting other people in the organization. So tonight's topic is going to be about insecure leadership. It's going to be a very topical one, a very interesting one, and it can be uncomfortable for some people. But as I said earlier, on Leadership Unscripted, there is no topic that is off limit. So thank you for tuning in. In 2 minutes, I will begin. Good night. Welcome, Anne-Marie. Welcome, Anne-Marie. Thank you for tuning in to Leadership Unscripted. This is the right place for you. We share, we engage, we motivate on this platform because we believe in uplifting people. So thank you for joining Leadership Unscripted tonight. Everything, Lord, I give you praise, and that puts a smile on my face. Purpose Chrissy. Purpose Chrissy, thank you for joining. From I see, good night, Prezi. I know you're from Moniga, the Moniga College, I must say. Thank you for joining and tuning into Leadership Unscripted. Our topic for tonight will be on insecure leadership. You've gotten the job. They've gotten the job. Nobody's fighting them for the job. Nobody wants the job. But yet still, they lead and they're insecure in everything they do. We are going to be breaking that down tonight. Will be uncomfortable for some, will be reflective for others. But guess what? On Leadership Unscripted, there is no topic that is off limit. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Orlando Bryan, Donovan Turner, Lucy, thank you for joining. You're tuning into Leadership Unscripted. Our topic for tonight, we will be focusing on insecure leaders. Why some leaders are insecure in their practice. That is our topic for tonight. It's time for us to start actually. So let me get my thing ready here. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. You're on Leadership Unscripted. You're in the right place at the right time. You're tuning in to Leadership Unscripted.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. The tension is building. Are you ready? It's time for the final countdown. Let's count down together. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to Leadership Unscripted. Tonight, I want to begin a little differently. I'm not going to ask you to think about the best leader you've ever worked with. I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to ask you to think about the leader who made you question yourself. The leader who made you afraid to speak. The leader who took credit for your work. The leader who always had to be the smartest person in the room. The leader who couldn't celebrate your success. The leader who smiled in public but quietly competed with people they were supposed to be developing. Now let me ask you something. Was that person angry? Or were they simply insecure? Because tonight I want to suggest something that may surprise you. The most dangerous leader in any organization isn't always the loudest. It isn't always the strictest. It isn't always the angriest person. Sometimes the most dangerous leader is the insecure one. Welcome to Leadership Unscripted tonight. We're going to have one of the most honest conversations we've ever had. First, I want everyone to participate tonight. So I want you to complete this sentence for me. A leader who is secure should always complete that sentence. A secure leader always. I'm going to begin by saying a secure leader listens. Let me hear you complete the sentence. A secure leader. What are some characteristics of a leader who is secure? I'm going to begin. A secure leader always listens. Anything from anybody in the live? Purpose Christie says a secure leader always encourages. Perfect. Any other descriptors in the live? We're going to be interacting tonight. So I started it and I said a secure leader always listens. Purpose Christie says always encourages. Miss Barak says makes people feel seen, not small. Perfectly said. Anybody else? A secure leader. Mandy says pushes their employees to strive for more. Thank you for that, Mandy. So we're seeing quite a number of responses. We see listens, encourages, makes people feel seen, not small, pushes their employees to strive for more. A secure leader take corrections, take accountability, make you feel seen. A secure leader communicates effectively. Don't overthink. Let me hear. What do you think are some of the characteristics or some of the practices of a secure leader? Ms. Barak says a secure leader celebrates others' success. A secure leader cares. So it is clear we know some of the characteristics of a secure leader. A secure leader corrects you without you feeling bad. So true. They support others. They listen. They develop people. They trust people. They celebrate others. Interestingly, notice something. Nobody mentioned authority. Nobody mentioned power. And nobody mentioned control. Why? Why do you think that is? Because people don't remember great leaders because they were powerful. They remember them because they made them people feel powerful. What did I say? People don't remember great leaders because they were powerful. They remember them because they made people feel powerful. And that is the difference. So let's define insecurity. When I say an insecure leader, what comes to your mind? When I say an insecure leader, what comes to your mind? Let me see some responses in the comment. What comes to mind when I say an insecure leader? What comes to mind? What comes to mind when I say an insecure leader? Mandy says one that is threatened by others' potential. So it's all about them. They see your potential, and instead of working with you to build and develop that potential, they feel threatened by it. Well, why though? They have the job, you don't. One that leads by instilling fear in people. Exactly. They want you to fear them. Thank you, Jay Salmon. Ms. Bark says micromanagement. Okay, I'm seeing them coming. Micromanagement. They micromanage everything you do. They don't give you a chance to be yourself, to use your own expertise. They micromanage everything. And sometimes what they're micromanaging, they can't do it better. They have nothing to offer, no ideas to share, but yet still, they want to micromanage everything. They want to control. They don't believe in releasing control and allow the team members. Purpose Chris, one that uses subtle action to shut down subordinates and hinder. Exactly, Chrissy. They shut down people, shut down subordinates, and they hinder your growth. It's all about them. They don't want to see you advance. They don't want to see you move up. Welcome, boys, Nanny. It's all about them. And all of those practices or traits you've listed earlier, they're screaming insecurity. They're screaming insecurity. And guess what? Insecurity isn't always loud. It isn't. One that controls others and get them to ostracize. Exactly. They want to control the narrative at all times. So they make up story about others and get their clique and people, to hate innocent people. Shorty says refuse to delegate because they fear others will do a better job. They struggle to delegate meaningful responsibility. Exactly. They don't want you to shine. They want to always be in the spotlight. So as I said earlier, insecurity isn't always loud. Sometimes insecurity wears a suit. Sometimes insecurity has years of experience. Sometimes insecurity has impressive qualifications. Sometimes insecurity sits in the corner office. Insecurity isn't about competence. It's about identity. An insecure leader constantly asks themselves questions like, what if they think someone else is better than me? What if I lose my influence? What if someone outshines me? What if they don't need me anymore? And once you're a leader and you're thinking like that, you're questioning your capability, you're questioning your leadership, you're questioning about people liking you, you're questioning about people doing better than you, you are insecure. You are insecure. And so once fear enters leadership, leadership begins to change. Not because the leader becomes evil, but because fear begins to make decisions. I see the chat is going wild. So let me stop talking and go to the chat here. refuse to delegate because they feel others will do a better job. Okay, let me go down and see. Single-handedly create a toxic workspace. So true. Sometimes insecurity is born because they know nepotism got them that job. Exactly. Forever Blessed says they're good at manipulating people. Exactly. An insecure leader often deals with constant self-doubt. So true. They question themselves. Every move they make, they question and compare themselves to others. They sit and instead of focus on their team, focus on developing the people around them, they question everything. They compare. They don't want to lose influence. They don't want anyone to outshine them. They question whether or not people still need them. They want to always be in the spotlight. They question whether or not people will do something better than them. And that is screaming insecurity. And insecurity is born out of fear. Insecurity is born out of fear. So think about this. Think about this. Have you ever worked for someone who needed to approve absolutely everything? Have you ever worked for someone who needed to approve every single thing? They don't trust you to make decisions. Every single thing you do, they must approve it. Even if they don't have any expertise in the area. It's your area, you're leading that area. They've delegated that area for you to lead. But every single thing you do, it must be approved by them. Every email, every decision, every conversation, every idea, it must be approved by them. At first, you may think they just have high standards. Let me see what Shorty says. Once notice as an insecure leader in your workplace, please compliment them to make them feel better. But sometimes, you see, when you're insecure, they're operating out of fear. But I get what you're saying, Shorty. So they want to approve every email. They must approve every decision. Every conversation, they must approve. Every idea, they must approve. At first, you may think they just have high standard. You begin asking another question. Do they trust us? Or do they simply not trust themselves? That's a good question to ask. They want to approve everything. So 2 questions you need to ask yourself. Do they trust us? Or do they simply not trust themselves? And that's a completely different conversation. So imagine you're a teacher. You've spent weeks creating a new literacy initiative. You are a teacher. You've spent weeks creating a new literacy initiative. You've researched it. You've piloted it. Students love it. The data is showing improvement. You present it during the leadership meeting. The principal listens quietly, says nothing, and at the end of the meeting, nothing is said. 2 weeks later, during a staff meeting, the principal presents exactly the same initiative, as though it was their own. Nobody mentions your contribution. Nobody acknowledges your work. Now here's my question. What actually happened? What actually happened? So you spent weeks working on a project. You had a meeting. You presented your ideas. The data shows that it is driving improvement. People love it. Students love it. Staff love it. The principal said nothing in that meeting. At the end of that meeting, the principal said nothing. 2 weeks later, During the whole school staff meeting, the principal presented that same project as their own. Nobody mentioned your contribution. Nobody acknowledges your work. What do you think happened? Did the principal forget? Were they under pressure? Did they intentionally take credit? Or was insecurity preventing them from celebrating someone else's contribution? What do you think? What do you think happened here? The principal sat in the leadership meeting, watched your presentation, listened to it, did not say anything to you, did not say a word. Yet 2 weeks later, the initiative you came up with was presented to the entire staff. No mention of your contribution. What do you think happened? Did the principal forget that you were the one who came up with the initiative and did all the work to put it together? Or was it insecurity preventing them from celebrating someone else's contribution? What do you think what do you think it was? What do you think caused the principal to totally... Principal never forget a thing. I don't think so, someone. Bad mind. Let me see the comments coming. So you presented it to the leadership team. They didn't say anything. 2 weeks later, they presented it as if it just came off the shelf brand new. No mention of you and the hard work you put in to get that project together. Jealousy. And all of what you're seeing comes back around to a leader who is insecure. A leader who is insecure. They're insecure. But they refuse to acknowledge your contribution. They refuse to acknowledge the contribution of others. Ms. Barak said insecure leaders discourage innovation because new ideas makes them feel threatened. Exactly. And everything new, they want it to be seen like it is there, like they came up with it. So they want to come off as being the innovator of all knowledge. That's how they want to operate. Forever Blessed, because they want to take credit for someone else's hard work. And that's true. So they absolutely did not forget. The teacher was intentionally omitted from that presentation. And how do you know that? When the teacher first presented to the leadership team, the leader should have used that opportunity to congratulate the teacher. Number 2, that initiative, the teacher spent weeks working on that initiative. The principal had no authority to be presenting that initiative to the staff. No, that is a perfect opportunity for you to make a leader there. You give the teacher the platform to present their work. You don't take people's work and present it as your own without crediting them. And because of this significant piece of work, the principal should not, he or she doesn't have the moral authority to take your work and present it as their own. And that is screaming a leader who is insecure because they want every new initiative to be led by them. So people think they are the innovator in the organization, when in fact they lack ideas. Now, I want to challenge everyone tonight. Secure leaders don't become smaller. When someone else becomes bigger, what did I say? Secure leaders don't get smaller when someone else becomes bigger. So giving someone the platform to present their idea, giving people the space to lead initiatives doesn't make you smaller. It doesn't remove your title. That is one of your rule of leader, of a leader. That is one of the rule of a leader, to empower and give others the opportunity to shine and build their practice. Secure leaders understand something very important. What they understand? They understand that leadership is not about being the smartest in the room. What did I say? Leadership is not about being the smartest person in the room. Moishe says, secure leaders don't compete, they complete their team. Exactly, they don't compete, they complete. Purpose Chrissy says it actually makes you bigger because it reflects your type of lead. Let me give Chrissy, let me pull up my bell tonight. Chrissy, you deserve an on tonight, Chrissy. And I want to hear it on the big screen, Chrissy. You deserve your on the big screen. Let me play it again. Wait, Chrissy. Wait. All right, here, Chrissy. That one deserves one. It's not connected yet. So, it doesn't make you, it actually, when you empower others and give other people an opportunity to lead, it actually makes you bigger because it reflects the type of leader you are. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. So leadership is not about being the smartest in the room. It is not. Leadership is about creating a room where many intelligent people can thrive. What did I say? Leadership is about creating a room where many intelligent people can thrive. And let me be frank here. Sometimes I wonder why you go to an interview people, you fight for the best of the best. To do what? Employ them into your institution and dumb them down. Keep them in a box. So why didn't you go for the average person? Why are you going for the why do you employ the brightest minds if you want to control them? If you want to micromanage them? If you're not going to give them the space to become implementers and innovate? Why? Why are you going to employ bright minds? You knew from the interview, based on how the individual presented themselves, that they were coming to innovate. They're innovators, they are trailblazers. Why did you employ the person if you knew you're insecure and you're gonna be, you believe that person will come and compete against you? Why did you employ the person then? To put them in a box and put them aside, to micromanage them, or to have them work in the background while you take their ideas and present it as your own? What is your motive? What is really your motive? As leaders, we need to always realize, and we must always remember, leadership is about creating room where many bright and intelligent people can thrive. Welcome, Bumi. Let me give Bumi a welcome. Bumi is on here tonight. Let me give Bumi a welcome. Bumi, you reach. Thank you for joining, Bumi. So, leadership is about creating room where many people, many bright people, many innovators can thrive because everybody has their space. Everyone has their strength. And you use each other's strength to complement the weaknesses in the institution. And when you come together as a team, it becomes powerful. Ms. Barak says the real mark of a secure leader is that everyone around them grows. And that is it. That is it. That is it. That is it. So everyone in the room, everyone on the team should feel a sense of purpose, should feel that they're growing, should feel that they're improving, not stuck and placed in a box. Or you have them in the background and you're taking their ideas and presenting it as if it's your own. No, it's not your own. You're just insecure. You're just insecure. So insecure leaders, Forever Blessed says, a good leader helps others to grow and always push them to do better than exactly. So insecure leaders compete. Secure leaders cultivate. Secure leaders multiply talent, while insecure leaders fear talent. So they know you're good at something. And instead of giving you the platform to showcase, instead of using your skill to build the organization, they fear that people will see you. They're fearful, so guess what? They don't give you the opportunity. They know you're good at graphics. And a big function is coming up. And instead of giving you the graphics to do, they sit and do it themselves. I know they cannot produce what you can produce, but yet still, they don't want you to shine, because people see the graphics and ask, who created that? It's so beautiful. And then they will have to say it's you. There's a new initiative in technology. They want someone to pilot it. They know you're good with technology. But because the project has the potential to blow up and become great, they don't give it to you to do. Or they give it to you, but when it's time to talk about the progress and the impact of that project, they're the one presenting it. They shove you to the back. So you do the work and they take the praise. It's wrong. It's wrong. So secure leaders cultivate other leaders. They seek to multiply talent. And they're not afraid to step back and give other people the platform. Because it's not a competition. It's not a competition. You are already in the chair. It's not a competition. It's not a competition. It is not a competition. So give people the platform. Give your team members the platform and the space to innovate and showcase your talent. And because that is coming back to improve, you will see the impact on the improvement of the organization. That is characteristics of a secure leader, a leader who isn't insecure. So secure leaders oftentimes ask, how do I make other people successful? They look at you. Sometimes you don't even know that they're observing you. They see what you can do. They observe your work. They see the quality of work you do. And a secure leader will seek out avenues, will find and point you in the right direction to give you the opportunity to showcase and build on your talent, to build on your strength. That's a secure leader. They give you a platform to shine. Secure leaders give you wings to fly. That's a secure leader. They're not in competition with you. They don't compete with you. They shouldn't feel threatened by you. Even if you're more eloquent than them. Even if you're brighter than them. Even if you have more qualifications than them. Even if you're skilled in several areas than them. Secure leaders should not feel threatened. Because they can use your skill to improve the organization. That's what they need. They're leading an institution. And you want different people on the team with different expertise. So guess what? You should be welcoming a variety of talent. And use all the talents you have to build the institution. And while building the institution, giving those people the opportunity to showcase and innovate. That is what secure do. It's never about themselves. Secure leaders don't know a thing about being egotistic. It's not about self. It's not about self. Sometimes you have functions and give other people the opportunity in the school to lead it. Don't even show up. Or if you show up, go and show up and sit to the back. Give other people the opportunity. It cannot be about you all the time. Official Miss Barak says secure leaders invest in developing future leaders. So true. Growth mindset says secure leader does not believe they have all the answers and is willing to exactly. And that is why when we go to an interview, we want the brightest minds on our team, because we want to get them in a room to get their ideas, give them the platform and the opportunity to innovate. Because that is building the institution. You step back and give them the opportunity, give them the platform. You don't compete with them. They celebrate the success of others and provide opportunities for them to grow and lead. And stop asking to approve everything. You don't need to be in everything. You need to be aware of what is happening. But you don't need to be a part of everything. You need to be aware of what's happening. But every decision should not stop at your foot. It's wrong. Every decision should not stop at you. It's wrong. How are you going to build leaders if you have to micromanage everything they do? You are insecure. You're competing with somebody, but I don't know who it is. You're competing with your own fear. Your mind is fragile. See it here? Your mind is fragile. You're leading through fear. And you cannot be a leader and is leading through fear. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. So as a secure leader, you should be asking, how do I make other people successful? How do I give the members of my team the opportunity to show their worth? How do I give them leadership opportunities on the team? Sometimes you have to make up our title. Make up some title, give them. Turn one title into 6. So you give 6 different people different opportunities to lead different areas. And that is you developing people. That is you giving people an opportunity to feel a part of the institution. And as growth mindset says, not threatened by talented or high-performing team members, but instead encourage them. It perfectly said. Encourage them. Encourage them. You should never be threatened by anyone on your team. Encourage them. Give them the space to lead. And stop taking people's hard work and presenting it like it's your own. When the video cameras come, step back and put the team member in front who did the work. When it's time to report to the media, when it's time to report to your seniors, point them to the teacher, to the staff, to whoever it is, to the main person on your team who did the work. Stop taking credit for people's work. You're just insecure. So you're tuning into Leadership Unscripted. While you listen, I'm going to ask that you share the live, like the live, invite a friend, and ask a friend to invite a friend. Now, I want you to answer honestly. Ashley says, no, sir, as she first to face the camera, and it's wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong. So I want you to answer honestly. Have you ever stopped sharing ideas because your leader made you feel your voice didn't matter? Yes or no? Have you ever stopped sharing ideas because your boss or your leader made you feel your voice didn't matter? Because on multiple occasions you share ideas and they are great ideas, but because the leader didn't come up with that idea, it was pushed aside. It was totally ignored. And it happened multiple times. So eventually, you just stop sharing your ideas. So my question to you, have you ever stopped sharing ideas because your leader made you feel your voice didn't matter? Man, they said, thank God no. Let me hear from you. Forever Blessed says, yes. Shorty said no. The fact drifters, I stopped because they're just using, exactly, they're using you. So they take, so fact drifter, I'm thinking, they take your idea and push it forward as their own. So they don't give you credit. And you're not given an opportunity to present your own idea. They take it as their own. They're insecure. They're insecure. They operate out of fear. They're threatened by you. Good night, lovely. Thank you for joining Leadership Unscripted. They're threatened by you. And that's a dangerous leader to operate with. That's a dangerous place to work with. Because when you work with a leader who is insecure, growth will be stifled. What did I say? When you work in an institution where the leader is insecure, your growth will be stifled. The growth of the institution will be stifled. And as Mandy says, they're jealous. They know what you bring to the table. And they refuse to let you shine. So guess what? They stifle you. They cripple every decision, every idea you come up with, they cripple it. Or turn it around and present it in another way, like it was their own. It's wrong. Man is a dangerous leader. They will cut you off no matter the cost. Exactly. Exactly. And I'm sure if you're working with a leader who is insecure, it is going to affect you. It's going to affect your motivation. It's going to drain your energy. It is going to drain, because it is not nice to be in an institution where you cannot share your ideas. Or when you share your ideas, it is taken by others and presented, and you're never given credit for the work you do. Whether or not we like it, nobody's going to sit and work on a project and feel motivated and encouraged to work on that project, knowing that they're not going to be credited for the work. No. If I did the work, I must be credited. So when your team do their work, when your team come to you with their innovations, support them now. It won't take anything of you to support them. It won't take anything of you to stand to the side of the stage and watch your second or your third or someone on your team delivering. It gives you a warm and good feeling to say yes. Yes. It makes your institution look good. And that's like a golden stamp on your leadership style. That's the true definition of delegating. Not just giving people the work and you take it and present it. That's not delegating. That's exploiting. Let me go again. Delegating is not giving people the work and you present it. That is exploiting. Delegating is giving people the opportunity to lead an area and allowing them to see it through to the end. Not you stepping in at the end and taking the praise. That is exploiting. And let me read what you guys are saying in the chat. Forever Blessed says, they said what you said don't make sense, and then when you look exactly, they're using it. Fact Driver said, it affects you mentally. You're either used or your ideas are not good enough. Let me see another comment. Because the best leaders help to create and mold the next generation. Exactly. Exactly. You should be, and so do not hide your insecurities on a delegation. To say, oh, I delegate. You delegate because you lack creativity. You delegate because you run out of ideas. And the only reason you delegate is to get people's ideas on paper. And you keep a whole heap of meeting. Oh, that project you're working on. Let me hear how far you are. Let me hear where you reach in the process. And you write down everything. Because you run out of idea. So you delegate not to give people the opportunity to lead and show what they can do. You delegate to get people idea, to poach people idea, to get people idea and pass it off as your own. It's plagiarism. It's stealing. It's thievery. That's the word. It's thievery. It's called thievery. Thievery. It's called thievery. Yeah, man, to take people's idea and pass it off as your own. It's thievery. You're a thief. Yes. And that's a fact. So you're hiding your insecurity under the name of delegation. No. You gave me to do because you didn't have an idea. And when I give you my idea, you shut me out and you're going to present it. So you get the praise. And you don't credit me at all. You didn't mention me. You exploited my talent to use for your benefit. At the RM, who served no purpose, no ideas of his own, is very sad. It's very sad. It's very sad. But do you know that, you see? You can be a leader who doesn't have an idea at all. But because you delegate and you use the talent of those around you, and you give them opportunities to lead and innovate, people don't know that. Do you know that? Do you know that? That can come off as a strength. And that is why leadership should be a team. It cannot be a one-man band. It cannot be a one-man band. When you give people an area to lead, leave them, let them lead. Leave them, let them lead. Lead them, leave them to lead. Stop take credit. It's thievery. Stop take credit for the work produced by others. Stop take credit. Stop take credit. And stop hide your insecurity under the name of delegation. No. You just didn't have any idea. You just didn't understand the project. So you gave it to somebody who you know will do a great job. And you micromanage them every step of the way. And you're not micromanaging them because you want the job to come out perfect or you're giving ideas. No. You're micromanaging them to get the ideas as they come up with it, to pass it off as your own. And you go to meetings and you say, oh, I came up with these initiatives at my school or at my institution. And oh, we're going to be doing this. And we're in the process of doing this. And you didn't mention the teacher who's up late at nights, who spend weekends researching it. You don't mention them. You pass it off as your own. I said it a few times on this show that as a leader, you are obligated to take the names of your team members, to take the expertise of your team members into rooms, into conversations that they're not privy to. It is your job to sell their talent. It is your job to showcase them. That is your job as a leader. Not to take their ideas and pass it off as your own. Not to be a one-man band. No, leadership cannot be a one-man band. The people on your team, when they do the work, they must be recognized for it. They must be recognized for their contribution to the whole mission of the institution. It cannot be about you. So you did not come up with the idea. Point them in the direction of the team member or the team members who worked at it. The initiative was a huge success. The media reached out to you? No. Point them to the team members. The team worked on a project. Now the project is getting international recognition. There's a trip overseas. Don't go. Send the team members who work on the project. If you're in a school, the football team is so good. They want them to come and play a game in another country. The teacher is there every week with them. Should go. Not you as a principal. Not you as a leader. Not you. Send the people who is there in the grassroots every day toiling. Send them. You delegated the task to them. So when it's time for the recognition, When it's time for the expertise, when it's time for the experience, give them the opportunity. Give them the opportunity. Don't go. You don't deserving of it. You don't deserving of it. Remember to like the live, share the live, invite a friend, and ask a friend to invite a friend. You're tuned in to Leadership Unscripted. Now, Ashalol, we are only made aware after the function. Exactly. And it's so wrong. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. Thank you, Forever Blessed, for that mustache. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. It is so wrong. It's wrong. You can't be gaslight. No, I don't even know what to call it. Give people the opportunity. When you delegate to them, let them see through the end. Thank you, Forever Blessed, for that, Rose. Thank you very much. Now, here's a powerful quote, and I want you to write it down. And Mandy, please write it in the chat. All of the moderators, please write it in the chat. Secure leaders create more leaders. Insecure leaders create more followers. Write that in the chat for me, please. Write that in the chat for me. Secure leaders create more leaders. Insecure leaders create more followers. Secure leaders, their job is to create more leaders. The insecure ones, they create followers, not leaders. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want people to be following you till their knee cut bend. Have you ever gone into an institution, and when you're employed, when you get into the institution, you see some people there and they're there for 20, 30 years, and when you hear the wealth of knowledge that they possess, you wonder, why are you still here? Why aren't you? Why haven't you been elevated a long time? Why are you still at this level? You wonder. Because they sat for years, and they have leaders who used and exploited them for their ideas and never saw them worthy to be elevated. And that's a sad, sad situation. Sad, sad situation. You have leaders who have crippled people's career, who have crippled people's potential for their own benefit. You have leaders who blacklist others from promotion. You speak bad about them in spaces. You speak bad about them. You ensure you speak bad about them so nobody wants to hire them because you don't want to lose them. You want to use and exploit them. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Don't speak bad about your employees. Don't speak bad about your team members. It is wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong. But sometimes you have some leaders and they sit in these positions for years, and their sole purpose is to hold down people, to keep you at one place. And every time you see an opportunity come, they discourage you or they stay in the background and they pull every string so you don't get the opportunity. And then they come and they give you all every reason why you weren't ready. And they even help you to curse people to also say why you didn't get it. When they were the fuel out there, fueling people not to employ you. They've gone into spaces and they spoke bad about you. And they don't know that they're damaging you and damaging your path to growth. In their eyes, you're never ready. It's wrong. It's wrong. And there are leaders out there. There are leaders out there who wouldn't reach where they are because if people if they didn't have good leaders who spoke on their behalf. You wouldn't reach where you are if you didn't have good people who spoke and stood in the gap for you and put their reputation on the line for you. And now you're promoted. And instead of passing it on, instead of continuing it to promote others and help others, guess what you do? You go out there. And because you're insecure, you stifle everybody in your path. You stifle everybody in your path. Gotta go beat you. Gotta go beat you. Gotta go beat you. You soon burn out. The pressure to knock you out. Yes. God is going to beat you. If as a leader, you're stifling others, God will beat you. Gotta go beat you. You'll get up with some pain. Your knee go pain you. Your head go pain you for no reason. Arthritis go kill you. Yes. Because you're causing the pain. You're causing pain for so many people, you know. You know how many, leaders, if you're a leader on the live, let me tell you. You don't want your team members to go on their knees for you. You don't want to constantly be causing people heartache. God will lick you. Because you're never more powerful than God. You don't want people and the children eye water on you. So be careful how you treat people while you lead. Janisha said, but question, who placed those leaders in leadership positions and why are they still? Exactly. Some of them well and know they're damaging the people. They know, someone they know, but it is just their nature. It's all about them. And in doing that, they're stifling the organization too. They're stifling the people and they're stifling the organization. So growth will be limited. And that is just wrong. That is just wrong. So remember, secure leaders create more leaders. Insecure leaders create followers. We don't want any followers around here. No. Our job or purpose as leaders is to create more leaders. Just think about that. So one builds people, the other builds dependence. One celebrates growth, the other quietly fears it. And that's why insecurity can become one of the most dangerous forces in leadership. What did I say? Insecurity can become one of the most dangerous forces in leadership when you're in competition with your team members. Let me see the comments. Some of them, they don't have exactly SM. They don't have any conscience. Janisha says, Father, I place my leader and his corrupt self in your hand. Beat. Let me give you a drum roll for that, Janice. Janisha, I didn't see that. Let me give you a drum roll. Let me give you another orange, Janisha, for that one. Let me give you another orange. Father, I place my leader and his corrupt self in your care. Beat him, Father. Growth mindset says, down on my knees. When sorrows rise, I talk with Jesus. Down on my... Exactly. Sometimes that's all you have to do, you know. Just pray for them. That's all. Sometimes that's all you have to do. But as leaders, some leaders, they will cripple you, man. They'll cripple you. They will cripple you. They will cripple you. They will cripple you. Cripple you. Cripple you. So if you're just joining the live, you're on Leadership Unscripted. And tonight, we're talking about the damage insecure leaders can cause. It's an uncomfortable conversation, can be for some. Especially if you know you are a leader who is insecure. You're competing with your team. But over here in Leadership Unscripted, there is no topic that is off limits. So if you're just joining, share the live, like the live, invite a friend, and ask that friend to invite a friend. You're in the right place You're tuning to Leadership Unscripted. Now, we've spent the first part of tonight's show talking about insecure leaders. Now I want to ask a much harder question. Can good people become insecure leaders? Answer that question for me. Can good people, can good, genuine-hearted people become insecure leaders without even knowing? While you type your response, make sure you're tapping the screen. We want to get the likes. Last night we get 72K likes. We're just at 26.4K. So let us stop the live to see if we can get back to that ranking. We can't set a goal last night and tonight we're stuck at 26K. No. We want to get our live up to 80K. Charlie says 80K tonight. We're aiming for 80K tonight. We're now at 26.6K. Let us get it to 80K tonight. Oh, last night was 80K. We want to get to 80K tonight. Yes. So, can good people become insecure leaders? I see yes. Ashley says money is the root of all evil. So they're there for money. Higher the monkey climb, the more him exposed. Ashley, you're unfair tonight. So I believe the answer is yes. In fact, good people can become insecure leaders. In fact, some of the most insecure leaders I have met weren't bad people. SM says, yes, because some of them become so self-centered. Mincuri 345 said, good night, Dr. Dale. Jermaine, good night, Jermaine. Make sure you're tapping, Jermaine. Make sure you're tapping that screen, Jermaine. Thank you for joining. Nikki Francis. Nikki, you're here. You're late, but you reach. You're late, but you reach. No. So I say yes. Some of the most insecure leaders I have met weren't bad people. They weren't. They were good people. Caring. They were caring people. But guess what? They're leading through fear. They fear failure. They fear rejection. They fear competition. They fear becoming irrelevant. And when fear begins leading, people stop leading. They start protecting themselves, and that changes everything. But leading through fear is wrong. Sometimes they're good people, you know, but they fear, some of them that is. Ashley says fear. Ashley. Because they make position get to them, and they become fearful. They're fearful, yes. They're needy. So they fear failure. They fear being rejected. They fear being compared to others. They fear becoming irrelevant. And when fear begins to lead, they stop leading. People stop leading. They start protecting themselves. So everything they do is to protect themselves. So they steal your idea. They steal it because guess what? They want to remain relevant. So this was a wonderful idea. I'll present it as my own because I want to remain relevant. And that's how insecurity comes in. Yes, sometimes it can be from burnout, stress, or even loss of confidence too. True. The irony is due to their fear of rejection that reject others. That's true. So they fear rejection, so they keep rejecting others. They hold you down. They have to keep you at a place because they don't want people to see that you're more talented than them. And they're operating out of fear. And unless they recognize and start looking in that mirror and do some deep reflection and recognizing that their own fear is being passed on to other people and it is damaging others. They're heading down a rocky road. So here's a teaching point. Here's something I've observed throughout my few years as a leader. Most insecure leaders don't wake up in the morning saying, today I'm going to make people's lives difficult. They don't do that. That's not how it happens. It happens gradually. It begins when a leader starts confusing their values with their position. Insecurity starts when a leader starts confusing their values with their position. The moment your identity becomes dependent on your title. Because you are a manager and you refuse to let people see who is the person, who is the individual behind the title. You just want to be seen as a manager. So your whole identity becomes your title. And that allows you become vulnerable. You now becomes vulnerable. And because of that, every talented employee feels like competition to you. Every new idea feels like criticism. Every disagreement feels like disrespect. Every successful colleague feels like a threat. The problem isn't leadership. The problem is identity. The problem is identity. It isn't leadership. If every employee feels like a competition to you, every new idea is seen as criticism, every disagreement is termed as being disrespectful, every successful colleague feels like a threat. No, it isn't leadership problem, my friend. You have an identity problem. And your identity becomes dependent on your title. So anybody who's shining, you feel threatened that they'll surpass you. When sometimes it isn't so. There's a space for everyone to operate. There's a space on the success, in the success room for everybody. There's space for every one of us to be successful. There is enough space. There is enough room for every one of us to be successful. So don't compete. Don't feel threatened. Don't feel threatened. Don't send up your blood pressure for no reason. Don't hold back your team members because you're intimidated. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't feel threatened. Don't do that. Work on your identity. Work on your identity. Who are you when the title is removed? When you're principal no more? When you're vice principal no more? When you're general manager no more? Who is the person behind the title? Work on that. Work on that. So I want everyone to answer honestly now. I want everyone to answer honestly. No judgment, no names, please. Just honesty. Have you ever felt threatened by someone else's success? Let's be honest tonight. Have you ever felt threatened by someone else's success? And I'm going to tell the truth. Have you ever felt threatened by someone else's success? Let me hear from you. Maybe someone younger, someone newer, someone more popular, someone who received recognition you hoped would come to you. Yes or no? If you're being honest, yes. Sometimes I feel a little weird. We're in an organization and someone is promoted. And you say, boy, I wish that was me. Yeah, man, we get a little jealous at times. But we're not going to let it fester. Not sure, we feel a little weird. But But we bounce off and we bounce and come again. We don't get bitter. We bounce it off and we come again. Yeah, man. We're human, the truth. We're human. And if we see something that we know we could do, but someone else is giving a nod, we're going to feel a little way. We're human. My mad mind is never activated for foolishness. Oh, your bad mind is never activated for foolishness. You feel a little way. Like, you know, that could have been me, yeah. But you don't let it fester. No, you don't. You cheer people on, exactly. Sometimes we're human, we feel a little way. But here's the truth. Feeling threatened doesn't make you a bad person, you know. Feeling threatened doesn't make you a bad person. If you remain there, and if you allow it to fester, it can make you a dangerous person. It can make you a dangerous leader. And it can be used to, and it can motivate you, exactly. It can motivate you to work hard. It can motivate you to work hard. Share the live, like the live, invite a friend, and ask that friend to invite a friend. Growth Mindset says their success is the institution's success. So true. It pushes you to do better. Yeah, and that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Now, imagine you're a principal. Imagine you're a principal. A young teacher joins your school. Within 1 year, students love them. Parents praise them. Their lessons are exceptional. They've introduced fresh ideas. They're invited to present at conferences. Other schools begin asking about them. Now something interesting begins to happen. The principal starts saying things like, they're getting a little too much attention. They still have a lot to learn. They need to slow down. They're not ready yet. My question, is the principal protecting the teacher or protecting themselves? Is the principal protecting the teacher or protecting themselves? Let me hear from you. So, new teacher just joined your team. Students love them. Parents love them. Parents praise them. They deliver nothing but exceptional lessons. So people start inviting them to present at conferences. Other schools begin asking about them because parents start talking about them. Everybody want to meet this vibrant new teacher in your school. As the principal, he starts saying, they're getting a little too much attention, you know. Miss Brown is getting too much attention. Miss Brown not ready. Miss Brown still have a lot to learn. Miss Brown needs to slow down. Wonder if Miss Brown knows she's not ready yet. Is that principal protecting the teacher or protecting themselves? Let me hear from you. Let me see the comments. Good teaching, but I have to leave the live, knowing it morning over here. All right, forever blessed. Enjoy your evening. Thank you for joining. Is the principal protecting the teacher or protecting themselves, or just simply bad mind? What would you say? Let me hear from you. What is the principal doing? Exactly, sure. The bad mind protecting themselves. Don't want to see this young, vibrant teacher grow. They don't want to see that. So here's a twist. The same principal quietly stops recommending that teacher for professional development opportunities. Not because the teacher isn't capable, because the principal doesn't want them becoming too successful. Has leadership become stewardship or ownership? So you stop the teacher's progress. You stop recommending them. You stop speaking good about their practice. You stop allowing other teachers to go in their class. You silence them. That's not stewardship. That's ownership. Strategy A to see growth. Secure leaders, you see? Secure leaders will consistently ask, how can I help you shine? Insecure leaders quietly ask, what happens if you shine brighter than me? And if you're asking that, if you're asking what will happen if somebody on your team shines brighter than you, it's a problem. It's a problem. Secure leaders develop people, the other limits them. And the tragedy is, many insecure leaders genuinely believe they're protecting the organization. What they don't realize, they're protecting their own position. So an opportunity comes up for a strong teacher of your school to move on. An opportunity comes up. A teacher in your school is promoted into another position elsewhere. And you block them, you stop them. What are you doing? You're thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about the individual. You shouldn't stop or block people. No. Give them the opportunity. Give them the opportunity. Now, this book, The Psychology of Fragility, speaks about fragility, and how oftentimes fragility is disguised as control. What did I say? Sometimes fragility is disguised as control, and some leaders can control they want to control your life. They want to control when you're promoted, where you're promoted to, how far. They want to control everything. Don't allow anybody. Don't allow any leader to have that control over you. Don't do that. Don't do that. So when leaders become insecure, they tighten their grip. They delegate less. They approve more. Trust less. Monitor more. What did they say? Not because they're stronger, but because they're just afraid. They're just afraid. They're just afraid. So here's a scenario. You're sitting in a leadership meeting. One member of your team presents a brilliant idea. Everyone around the table loves it. People begin saying, that's exactly what our organization needs. The leader smiles, but immediately starts pointing out problems. We've tried something similar before. I'm not convinced. Let's wait. But nothing moves forward. 6 months later, another organization launches the exact same initiative successfully. Question: what stopped progress? What stopped progress? What stopped progress? I'm going to answer for you. Insecurity. A leader who was just insecure. A leader who, because everyone in the meeting was praising the idea and it wasn't their idea, they put a stop on it. And because of that, another institution 6 months later launched the same initiative successfully. So because of insecurity, progress was stopped for that institution. So sometimes the greatest obstacle to innovation isn't a lack of ideas. No, it isn't. It's leaders who feel uncomfortable with ideas they didn't create. What did I say? The greatest obstacle to innovation, the greatest obstacle to innovation isn't a lack of ideas in some schools, in some organizations. It is leaders who feel uncomfortable with ideas they didn't create. And that's worth thinking about. Because leadership isn't measured by how many ideas belong to you. It doesn't. Leadership isn't created. It isn't measured by how many of the ideas belong to you. Leadership is measured by how many great ideas you're willing to champion, even when someone else receives the credit. That's how leadership is measured. By how many great ideas you're willing to champion, even when someone else on the team will get the credit. Remember that. Remember that. So the most secure leaders I have ever worked with, they encourage others, they listen, they're trusted, and they trust people. They empower others. They celebrate the wins of others. They mentor others. Nobody will remember secure leaders because they control everything. Nobody. People will remember a leader because they made others believe in themselves. And that's influence. So as we head towards the final part of tonight's show, I'm placing one of you in the principal's chair. You'll face one leadership decision. There's no perfect answer. Only one question. Will you choose your own security or someone else's growth? Will you choose your own security or someone else's growth? And by the end of tonight, I hope every one of us leave asking, not am I a confident leader, but am I creating confident people? Because what? That is the difference between leaders who build an organization and a leader who builds a legacy. So here's the scenario. Imagine you've been principal for a school for 10 years. 10 years you've been the principal. Your deputy principal has become exceptional. Teachers trust them. Parents admire them. Students respect them. People constantly say they like them. And members of the team continuously say they're going to make an incredible principal one day. At first, you are proud. Then something changes. Staff begin approaching your deputy before they come to you. Parents ask specifically to speak with your deputy. The ministry invites your deputy to present at conferences. People begin saying they'll probably become principal before long. Now be honest. As a principal, how do you feel? Do you feel proud, threatened, or both? Take your time. Take your time. Growth man says the blood of Jesus. As a principal, how do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel proud, threatened, or both? How do you feel? How do you feel as a principal in this situation? Your deputy is getting the limelight. They've worked for you and they've become great at what they do. The ministry is inviting them. People keep saying they're going to become a good principal one day. How do you feel? Should you feel proud, threatened, or both? You should feel proud, man. You should feel proud. This person worked with you for 10 years and they've become great at what they do. You should feel proud. But here's a twist. Here's a twist now. A neighboring school advertises a principal position. Your deputy is thinking about applying. Question. Do you encourage them? Or do you privately hope they don't apply? A neighboring school. In a neighboring school, there's vacancy for a principal. They know your deputy is great. They've been working with you for 10 years. Do you encourage them to apply? Or do you remain quiet and hope they don't apply because you don't want to lose them? Because they're good at what they do. Encourage my VP to apply and pray they become successful. We could then collaborate. Good, that's good. That would be the right thing to do. But do you think an insecure leader would do that? Would an insecure leader do that? So here's my perspective. The greatest leaders don't measure success by how indispensable they become. They measure success by how many other leaders they develop. A secure leader wants people to outgrow them. An insecure leader wants people to depend on them. There is an enormous difference. Now ask yourself, if everyone on your team become better than you, would that make you proud or uncomfortable? If everyone on your team becomes better than you, would that make you proud or uncomfortable? Whatever answer you come up with reveals more about your leadership than any performance review could ever could. So the mirror moment for tonight, the mirror moment, I'd like everyone to do something. Don't think about another leader. Don't think about your boss. Don't mix emotion. I need to work more on myself. Don't think about your boss. Don't think about your principal. I want you to think about yourself. The area where I still need to grow as a leader is, don't type it in the comment either. Don't type it in the comment. Based on all that we've discussed tonight, think of the area you need to grow in and hold that to your chest and work on it. Because secure leaders are not people who think they've arrived. No. Secure leaders are people who remain teachable. The moment you stop learning, you begin declining. What did I say? As a leader, as an individual, the moment you stop learning, you start declining. And that's a fact. That's a fact. The moment you stop learning, you start declining. So I want everyone watching tonight to answer one final question. Imagine every member of your team was interviewed privately. They were asked one question. How did your leader make you feel? What do you hope they say? Would they say, I felt trusted? I felt supported? I felt challenged? I felt appreciated? Or would they say, I was afraid to make mistakes? I stopped sharing ideas. I never felt good enough. Remember, leadership is remembered emotionally long before it's remembered professionally. People rarely remember every decision you made. They remember how your leadership made them feel. People remember how your leadership made them feel. So now it's time for the family table. Because I don't want tonight's conversation to end when this live ends. Tonight's question is simple. Who is the most secure leader you've ever known? And what made them different? Was it their humility, their confidence, their generosity, their willingness to celebrate other people? Ask someone that question tonight. Or tomorrow, ask someone that question. Who is the most secure leader they've ever known? And what made that leader different? Was it their humility, their confidence, their generosity, or their willingness to celebrate others? Ask someone that question. And here's your challenge before we meet again. Find someone in your organization who is doing exceptionally well. Don't give them another responsibility. Don't ask them for another favor. Instead, walk up to them, could be their office, their classroom, their workspace, or call them and simply say, I've noticed what you've been doing. Thank you. How can I support you? Or just say thank you. Those words might mean more than another promotion. Because recognition tells people, I see you. Support tells people, you don't have to carry this work alone. Great leaders don't simply develop people, they care for people. So my final message, I want to leave you with this. One day, your title will belong to someone else. Let me go again. One day, your title will belong to someone else. Your office will belong to someone else. Your parking space will belong to someone else. Your position, whether you like it or not, will belong to someone else. But the way you treat people, the confidence you built in them, the opportunities you created, the lives you've influenced, that becomes your legacy. So don't spend your leadership trying to be the most important person in the room. Don't do that. Spend your leadership making people feel important. That's the leader people remember. That's the leader people follow. That's the leader organizations never forget. So as we come to the end of tonight's conversation, I want to thank you, not simply for watching, but for being willing to reflect. Leadership isn't about perfection, remember that. It's about growth. So if tonight's conversation challenged you, don't let the conversation end here. If tonight's conversation added value to your life, share it. And this live will be downloaded and uploaded to my YouTube channel at Dr. R. Dale. Just share it with someone in your network. So before we meet again, remember this one truth. Secure leaders don't build followers. Secure leaders build more leaders. That's the kind of leader our schools need. That's the kind of leaders our organizations need. And that's the kind of leader our world needs. Until next time, keep leading with purpose. Keep serving with integrity. Keep lifting other people higher than yourself. My final quote for you. The greatest threat to insecure leadership isn't talented people. It's the fear of losing significance. The greatest strength of secure leadership is knowing that helping others rise never diminishes your own value. What did I say? The greatest strength of secure leadership is knowing that helping others rise never diminishes your own value. Always know that. Always remember that. Always remember that. Always remember that.
Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Yeah.
so very much.
So yeah, go out.
Thank you so very much for staying with me tonight. Thank you so very much. Thank you. And thank you for always continuing to share the live and spreading the word out there. It is appreciated. And when this live evolve into its own TV program, you're going to be part of the first audience. Yes, man. We're dreaming big over here. We're dreaming big. So thank you very much. Your support is appreciated every single night. Good night, Shorty.
Said this morning I woke up and I looked in the mirror and every part of my body was in place. Many people died and never saw this day. So another day I live, I appreciate. Don't ever wanna act too high and mighty, cause tomorrow I can fall down on my face. So in everything, Lord, I give you praise, and that puts a smile on my face. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, beautiful day, it's a beautiful day. Don't fuss and fight.
Tonight's topic, you see? Tomorrow night's topic. The topic for tomorrow night is going to be very controversial. The topic for tomorrow night is, can you be an exceptional leader and still fail at home? Can you be an exceptional leader and still fail at home? So my question is, why do good leaders sometimes become absent parents? That's our topic for tomorrow night.
We got one life, so let's make it right. It's a beautiful day, yeah. It's a beautiful day. So yeah, though I walk through the valleys of the shadows of death, how I feel.
Make sure you get your copy of The Psychology of Fragility
When I see the clouds
on Amazon.
drifting away and things are not in place. Everything in life happens for a reason. Disappointment comes with a lesson. It's for me to get wiser, got to work harder. In the end, it will get better. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
Such a beautiful night.
Please don't fuss and fight. Let us unite. Let us unite. So let's make it right. It's a beautiful day.
So I want to thank everyone for joining. I'm going to be leaving you guys now. As you know, I'm on vacation. But I'm coming on here every night because I'm this platform, I'm building it. So thank you very much. Thank you for joining Leadership Unscripted. See you tomorrow night at 8:30. We're on from 8 p.m. So see you tonight. See you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. But the show actually starts at 8:30. Remember, when the flyers is published tomorrow, share it with a friend. Like it on my platform. And if you're not following this page, please ensure that you follow this page. Thank you so very much. Growth Mindset, are you? Yes, I'm on vacation. Yes, I'm on vacation. But as I said, Growth Mindset, I'm thinking you should buy one of this book, because guess what? Our version of vacation may be different. I could lay in my bed all day and still enjoy my vacation while you travel all over the world, and I still come back to work with the same level of satisfaction as you. So it comes down to mindset and what you do to rejuvenate to get back to work. So yes, I'm on vacation, and I like quiet, undisturbed vacation. You know, I don't like the up and down. No. As we get older, We want more serene experiences and quiet and reflective experiences. Anyway, thank you guys. Have a wonderful night. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow for another uncomfortable topic on leadership unscripted. Signing off.
Yeah.